What's good, YouTube? It's Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we gonna talk about who has the best future so far in the Eastern Conference. Um, Everybody knows that the Eastern Conference has made a lot of trades. You have Dwight Howard going from Atlanta to the Hornets, and they in the contentions for the playoffs. You have Blake Griffin going to Detroit. Miami plays well together as a cohesive unit. You have the Philadelphia 76ers. They struggled a lot this year because Joel Embiid wasn't able to play back-to-backs. And every time they had back-to-back, they was losing those games. Now that he's been playing more consistently, they've been able to accumulate a win streak. But they lost their last game, but they was on a 7 game win streak before they lost to the Wizards. But they showed that they can be a playoff team. Even earlier in the season, when Embiid was playing a lot of games, there was above a lot of games above 500. He got injured, and they started losing more games. But now he's more healthier and playing more games, and they went back to winning. And even though they record don't really show it because they're the 7th seed, but they can get all the way up to the 3rd seed if they can go back on a long win streak and teams lose. And then obviously you got the future, own the future, the Milwaukee Bucks slogan. Like I said, I live in Wisconsin. I live by Milwaukee, and this team been in the playoffs all season long. They are guided by Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have Big Bari. You have Chris Middleton, who's averaging 20 points a game. Eric Bledsoe has been a fantastic move, and it has made them a lot better, especially because he's a better fit for this roster than Greg Monroe. You have the Indiana Pacers, who flew under everybody's radar. Nobody thought they was going to be a playoff team. Nobody thought they'd be this good. Um, they have Miles Turner, a guy that has unlimited potential. They have great veterans to go around, Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner. Um, Not only that, they're very quick. They've played with pace, and they can beat anybody. If you can't guard them or you give them a lot of confidence, this is a hard team to beat. Plus, you never know. They have the players, like I said, the youth and the veterans, where they can package guys together to make a move to have a better fit with Oladipo and Turner, who they're building around. And they can obviously be one move away from being contenders in the East to go against Cleveland. And of course, you have Washington. Bradley Beal and John Wall was the future of the East, and they're only getting older now, but they're still young enough in the Eastern Conference where they can still wait their turn a little bit more. And then you never know that the East is opening up every year. LeBron lost Kyrie. Kevin Love is always injured. And, you might get the right series. You might step up at the right time. And if you can beat Cleveland, in the first, second, or in the Eastern Conference Finals, you're basically guaranteed to go to the finals. Now, will you win the finals? No, because San Antonio, Houston, Golden State has something to say about that. And those teams are not just the best teams in their conference, they're the best teams in the NBA. I can't really vouch for that many teams in the East. I think whoever comes out the West this year wins the ring, but it might not be like that in the future, honestly. And then you have a team that is my team, the Boston Celtics, a team that has a guy like Kyrie that can close, that can shoot. You have Gordon Hayward making great progress, getting better, being able to stand up on that feet. On that leg, being able to now shoot the basketball, getting ready for 5-on-5 contact. Um, Most likely, he still got 2 months before the season over, so we got to continue to be updated with his journey of getting back to the court. And you also got to see how good he's going to be in those practices. Is he healthy enough? Because hey, this Boston Celtics team, they're built for a long run in the NBA playoffs. And if they can get Hayward back and get him back in full contact before the playoffs, I think they should keep Hayward out for the whole year. Brad Stevens was honest. They don't believe he's going to come back this season, even though he got injured months ago and he's making rapid progress. But we don't know how good he's going to be. We don't know how rusty he's going to be. We don't know how confident he's going to be on that foot. Um, And also, we don't know how many hits he can really take without being real cautious how he play, or is he just gonna go out there and play his game, which is difficult to do when you have a major injury like that. But he's gonna come back eventually, and hopefully, having a whole year off plus the summer to strengthen the leg, to get confidence in the leg, to get shots up, to get some practice, to get some physicality at training camp. That should be able to prepare him for the real game. And then you have preseason, and then you have a chance to bring him in at that starting spot. Jason Tatum falls to that bench, what helps the bench out with Terry Rozier and Jason Tatum. They have a very good bench already, and they're only going to add another great piece, which would be Tatum, and you will have to start Gordon Hayward, which gives them more flexibility and a go-to scorer off the bench, because Greg Monroe most likely won't be on the Celtics after this year because he signed a one-year deal. But I think the East is wide open. Honestly, you have a team like Washington. Bradley Beal has been injured a lot the first couple seasons. John Wall just wasn't playing the best. He wasn't playing the best defense, so he went to go get his knee cleaned up to get some more of that movability. He wanted to be more movable. He couldn't guard his position. He couldn't stop anybody, and that's not John Wall. He's one of the best defenders at the point guard position, and they made it almost to the Eastern Conference Finals when they lost to Boston last year when they lost in Game 7 to Kelly Olynyk, and they had a chance to compete for a championship if they would have beat Cleveland, which they said they was ready for, but they never could get to that point where they could play them for the Eastern Conference Championship. So Washington already proved that they can play, that they are a contender every year in the East as long as they make the playoffs, and that they're a dangerous team. The problem with that is John Wall is approaching 30. So they're getting to the point where it's now or never. Is you gonna make these moves to win a championship, or you gonna stay just good enough and wait till the East to open up? Which means that you have teams like the Bucks, teams like the Sixers, teams like the Celtics that can take that spot as number one team in the East, in the Raptors, and you can get passed up. We've seen the same thing happen to teams like the Clippers and the Grizzlies. They were trying to stay packed and they were trying to stay together. And then you had Golden State. They made a move and they got Iguodala and Harrison Barnes. They drafted. Next thing you know, it went from being San Antonio and OKC and the Lakers to now it's Golden State, 3 straight finals. And then on top of that, they add Kevin Durant. And now the Grizzlies, they even have Mike Conley this whole year, and they're not even contenders anymore. And now you have the Rockets getting Chris Paul and Dwight Howard because they made it to the Western Conference Finals. They have become a threat with the power of James Harden. And now adding Chris Paul, they look like a legitimate championship contender. And now you go from having the Clippers, now they're blowing it up. The Grizzlies, they not even a grit and grind anymore. And that means you have to, if you have an opportunity, you have to make the best of it. And if you feel like you have a shot to win a championship, you have to make those moves because the window, that's what the NBA players like to say, and the GMs and the coaches, your window is not that long. You might have a 2 to 3 to 5 year at the max window to have a chance to win a championship or have enough talent that you can push over to win a championship, and you have to go for it. And we seen the Raptors try to do that, adding PJ Tucker at the trade deadline and adding Serge Ibaka. Obviously, they lost to PJ Tucker but kept Serge Ibaka, and now they're the number one team in the Eastern Conference, something that they have never done so far. And now people think they starting to believe in Toronto. They're starting to see that Toronto has a pretty good chance of coming out the East or even being a contender for the championship. That's something that we would have never known. But they've been making trades, trading Corey Joseph for C.J. Miles, re-signing Serge Ibaka, and now they're trying to find a way to open up that window a little bit longer and see if they can at least get to the NBA Finals to have a chance to win a championship. You have a team like the Philadelphia 76ers that if Ben Simmons can continue to stay healthy and put the work in, he can be a better franchise and more well-rounded player. He's already a great playmaker. He's already a solid finisher. Has high basketball IQ. He still need to work on them free throws and those jump shots in the paint. Even more floaters. He's starting to use little hook shots and floaters. If he can knock that down consistently and stay aggressive, not so passive, it's going to be hard to match up and guard this team when you have a 6'9" point guard that can shoot over the top of any player at his position and take the smarter shots and still look for his teammates and make them better and make their job a lot easier. And then you have Joel Embiid, a guy that's unselfish and that can play off the ball, play on the ball, post up, knock down fadeaways, and also make his teammates better because he sets good screens, he has good handoffs, and he makes good passes, whether it's in the pick and roll or in the post. And that makes the players around him better. And you have a team like Boston that's gonna have competition from the Raptors, that's gonna have competition for this from the Sixers because it looked like the Sixers now that they have Simmons and Embiid, they have been pushing adding JJ Redick, signing Robert Covington to a long term deal, taking a break on Markelle Fultz and saying, hey, we can bring him along slowly when he's ready to come. That is another weapon that we have on our roster to go along with Embiid and Simmons and Saric. Another guy that's been playing fantastic for them and continues to develop, and he has fit better since last year. He had a decent rookie year. He's having a significantly better sophomore year, and he looks like he has a load of potential. So it's going to be scary in the East. I think definitely it's going to be between if the Bucks can continue to add nice talent around Giannis and not be cheap and continue to find the best player available and make those moves because like I said, Giannis is only going to get older. He's only going to want to win more. That can make him want to get traded. That can make him want to leave. Even though they do have a new stadium, they have a new owners, and they have a new coaching staff coming in next year. You still want to give him the urgency saying, hey, even though we know you're young, we're still going to try to put talent around you like they did with Eric Bledsoe, like they're trying to do with Jabari Parker coming back. We still want to win a championship as fast as we can, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get you in those positions to win one. And as long as they continue to show, improve, and have that commitment to Giannis, I don't really see him leaving. And you got to remember, he signed a 5-year deal just last year, so he got 4 years left on that contract after this season, and he's gonna be there for a while because he looks happy, he looks cool, and it looks like the Bucks have finally changed, and they're trying to build a championship team around Giannis and doing everything possible to keep him happy. And if they can continue to do that, the sky is the limit for the Bucks. But I think the East going to come down to Toronto and the Celtics and the Sixers. Future wise, we don't know how free agent happen. We don't know what injuries going to happen. We don't know who gets traded. I'm just saying, based off right now, those teams look like they have the star power with Kyrie, Gordon, and Al Horford, Ben Simmons, and Markelle Fultz, and Embiid, and of course players like Covington and Redick. And then obviously you have DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, two all-star players playing on the same court. And you obviously have the Wizards, who almost there. You ain't going to win a championship with Markieff Morris as your third or fourth best player. You're not going to probably win a championship with Marcin Gortat as your starting center. Because he's an okay center at best, not a great center, not a game-changing center. And you're not going to win that much when you have Otto Porter as your third best player, and he can't even create his own shot enough to where he becomes a problem. And if he continues to get better, get confidence in the Spanish game, the ceiling for this Washington team can get higher because we have seen the improvements of Bradley Beal. We have seen the team, how they galvanize around John Wall, a guy that leads by example, locks down defensively, and make his teammates better. Whether if you look at the stats or not, the team was winning with John Wall. John Wall carried the team because Bradley Beal was injured a lot early in his career, and they was able to make the playoffs because of the play of John Wall. Now all of a sudden he get injured. Now all of a sudden everybody turning against John Wall, saying they play better without John Wall. But John Wall been carrying this Wizards team since Bradley Beal got in the league, and they was making the playoffs even when John Wall had to carry it when Bradley Beal was missing 20 games every season. Now that he's healthy and having a good little run, now they want to destroy what John Wall has done for this organization. He carried Bradley Beal more than Bradley Beal has carried him, and this has really been the only season where Bradley Beal has carried the Wizards And it has been John Wall carrying them the most. So if they can add another piece or another all-star, even if it means trading Otto Porter, they might have to take that chance and that risk to have this window that is closing for the Wizards. But they're one trade away from being a contender in the whole entire NBA. And we never know if they're going to get that move done or if they ever going to make it. Let me know who y'all pick is for the team that can have the brightest future in the East. Who's going to be the best team in the East in the future? Do you think it's going to continue to be Toronto? Do you think it's still going to be Cleveland? Do you still think it's going to be Boston? Do you think it's going to be the Sixers? Or do you think it's going to be another team like the Pacers or obviously the Heat that can always add another player and they have the ownership that's always ready to spend and make trades to win a championship. So let me know what you think. Check out my website, NosisPlayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Check out my check out my Facebook page at NosisPlayground.com. Link in the description and at the comment section. And also check out my website at NosisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Quinn Wade Basketball Nosis. I'm going.